Hey guys, Ronnie here from Early Bird Farms SC. It's February 22nd. I was going to give you a little recap of what I'm doing today. Finally had a little time to start pilling around the yard, and I'm just going to show you some stuff that I'm planning on doing. I probably mentioned this in a video a long time ago, but let's show you what we got. So I put this little thing together for Bentley. He's been on me about that. He wants to plant strawberries in it. And last year we planted cucumbers in here and let them grow up on this fence, and we planted some flowers in the front. I think we're gonna do the cucumbers again, and then we're gonna plant maybe 2 tomato plants in the front. The dog kennel, I'm moving from here. Eventually all this stuff's gonna come from here. I want to get rid of all this junk and reorganize it. But let me show you what I'm gonna do with the dog kennel. So this is the area that I raised a lot of the chestnut trees and a lot of my plants. You see I still got a few of them in here, but this is the area. I had a garden in here originally. If you look back to some of my earlier videos, this is where I was doing the lasagna gardening, but I plan on moving that dog pen right there in that same spot right there. And this way here I'm gonna build I'm gonna make that a whole chicken coop. So that's gonna be the run, and this front part's gonna be the coop. I'm gonna build a little coop up on 4 legs, get it up off the ground. I'll probably leave this tree here, maybe trim it up some, and then I'll put some kind of net top over it so hawks can't get in there. But yeah, that's the plan. I still haven't got me a garden area yet. Still have the fruit trees. I'll show you what all the fruit trees look like right quick. I really had hoped to get my garden going yet, but I still hadn't built a building, and I still hadn't fenced in the backyard like I wanted. But it's just a busy season of life for us right now. All the kids are playing sports, so it's just hard to get things done. Let's show you what we got. This is a cherry tree that we got from Ison's. This is the Royal Crimson. We bought 2 when we went with Matt Dean down to Ison's. We bought that one. It's doing great. The other one died on me. It was during a really heavy drought summer, and I was not able to water it as much as I should. But in a prior video I talked about putting these in the corner of the fenced in backyard, so I got to replant those. So if you move just right to the right, you can see this is my blueberry bushes. I have 10 of them. They're various types: powder blue, tiff blue. I think I got 2 powder blue, 2 tiff blue. These 2 are some kind of a hybrid that I bought on clearance. They're called Hello Darling. Sorry, these 2 right here are 2 hybrids. They're a hybrid between a southern bush and a rabbit eye, and they're called Hello Darling. I'm not sure what this one is. This is one that I used to have planted over there around the old garden area that I was just talking about where we're gonna put the chicken pen. These 3 right here are pink lemonade. I trimmed these a few weeks ago because these 2, you can see they're kind of facing each other. I planted this one that way because the sun comes over this way, and I thought it would help pull it back some. Moving on to the blackberry. These are 2 right here I got from Ison's. You can see how much they've grown. The rest of these right here I got from Matt Dean. They're all doing great. There's 10 here. I've trimmed some of them up. These are my other row of blackberries. I got 63 pounds from these last year, if I'm not mistaken. But the first 5 here are Ouachita, and then the last here are Ponca. And I preferred the Ponca. I like these. They got really heavy branch. These are an erect variety or semi-erect variety. You can see how heavy the second year canes are that grew last year. These are the ones that grew after the first year's canes grew. So I'll have berries on these this year. I've come through and got all the grass out, trimmed all the old canes from last year off. So and these got compost in here. Hopefully these will do pretty good. This is all the grass and the canes that I trimmed. Still got to gather up. Next we have our muscadine trellises. We got 4 muscadines. Terra, we have Summit, we have, what's this one right here? I can't remember, that's a Summit. You can see the Summit is at the end of between this post and that post is 20 foot, and the muscadine plant is planted in the middle, so I let it grow 10 foot each way. So if this starts growing this year, this will get trimmed. I think this year I'll probably get some fruit off of this one. So this one's a cowart. This one's probably the least vigorous one out of all of them. The only difference is this one's close to that tree right there. That tree roots is probably sucking some nutrients from it. But we do fertilize these twice a month. We put triple 10 on them at the first of the month, and we put nitrogen on them on the 15th of the month, or either vice versa. This is another cowart. So I got 2 cowarts, and you can tell this one's a little bit more vigorous, and it's a little bit further away from that tree. But again, even when that tree has leaves, these are in full sun because the sun comes up here. This is the east, and then it goes directly over them, so they get plenty of sunlight. All right, this is the very low end of the fruit orchard. This is an apple tree, getting a pretty nice shape to it. I've already pruned these for the year. This is my persimmon. It died back all the way to the ground, and all this is regrowth, and I do not know if this is going to produce fruit or not. If it don't, after a year or two, we'll get us a new one and put it in this place. This is a Black Mission fig, and I'm happy about this year. These thicker branches right here, looks like they finally made it through a winter. We're not quite done with winter. We still got some frost, but I can still see some vigor in that, and they got some budding on the end. But what tends to happen here in South Carolina is these will leave out, and then we'll get a late frost that'll kill it, and it'll knock it all the way back to the root. But I think this is possibly the 4th year that this was planted, and this was a fig that was in a container, so it was probably already a year or 2 old. This should be well established with some roots, and I'm hoping that these will finally produce. I've never gotten any figs off of this. Pretty much every other one I've gotten a fig off of. Pawpaw tree still hanging on, not growed much. It's about up to here. It's hard to grow pawpaw tree in full sun when they're young. And this is a transplant tree. No, actually, this is one that I grew from seed. And if I had to do it over again, I probably would leave this in a pot for, I would keep up potting it for 4 or 5 years before I planted it. The tube, I'm not sure the tube, I really love the tubes on every tree that I've tried it except the pawpaw tree. I planted one kind of on the edge of the woods, and it seemed to be doing pretty good last year. So I think that's probably a better bet. It needs shade for, they need shade for a couple of years until they get bigger. So if you have the option of buying one that's in a container that's 3 or 4 years old, you probably are better off that way. But I'm still experimenting with that. Still love the tubes. Gotten really good results with the tubes on ball cypress trees that I got planted down there near the swamp. Those trees, I got them, they were about 2 foot tall, and those are probably 8 foot tall now. This is a pink lady apple tree, and I've trimmed it back to a whip this year. This tree has split, and I wasn't really sure if I thought about trying it as a open vase, but then I decided to go back with central leader on it. This is a Burbank plum, and I have trimmed it to be a open vase like a peach tree. Really wanting this to get up a little bit taller because the deer really like the leaves on this, and they eat them every year. This is a peach tree. I think this is a Bella Georgia, and you can see I've already pruned this for the year. You can see where I took some bigger limbs off right there. This is a peach tree that my buddy Darren sent me from Oklahoma. So we got it pruned back. And this is a nectarine. I trimmed some of the taller limbs off of it too. For some reason the deer like to rub this tree every year. This is another apple tree. I think this might be this is either a golden delicious or red delicious. Oh, I missed a fig right there. There's a little fig right there. That's Little Miss Figgy. You can barely see it right there, but it should be doing good. I got that from Matt Dean. And I got this from Matt Dean. This is a Violet de Bordeaux fig. I actually got 3 more to plant. Another peach tree. They're all doing good, getting some good shape to them. Another peach tree. And this is a new plum tree that I got from Ison's last year. Has some good growth on it. You can see pretty much all the way back to here. New growth. Should be pretty good. This is called a beauty plum, I believe. That's what. Alright, this is my pear trees. I pruned them this year. I left a little bit more on them than I normally do. I tried to prune them. Still trying to work on the shape on them. This is going to have lots of buds on them this year. I've never gotten a pear off of none of these. These are really tall. Both of these are self-fertile trees, but they still should pollinate each other. But this year I think they finally going to have a lot of blooms. They're 15 foot apart, so they shouldn't have no problem with sharing pollen. But I don't know. I did have pear on, 1 or 2 pear on each one of them, but I didn't get to harvest them. Those and the apple trees I've kind of struggled with. I have gotten a few apple trees. And these are the last 2 apple trees I got. But the apple trees seem to get this stuff on them. And then the ends of them seem to do like this. Don't know why. This one seems to be the worst. This is an Arkansas Black. That right there is a Red Delicious or either a Golden Delicious. Those 2 I can't keep apart. And then this is a Brown Turkey Fig. It looks like this one's going to get killed back to the ground again this year. When I looked at it a few weeks ago, some of this still looked kind of viable, green or whatever. All right, so I got all the junk out of here. I've taken down all the wire. Still have a few blackberry plants here. And I got these T-posts to take up. But now I got to decide what I'm gonna do with this behemoth. That's rosemary. Not the lady, but the bush. I thought about at one time leaving that inside the chicken coop, but my chicken coop's only gonna be 10 by 10 to start with, so I don't think it's gonna make it inside. But I want to level all this ground out real good. Might have to get some dirt in here, and then I'm gonna put the chain link fence up, and then I'm gonna buy some hardware cloth to put around the bottom of the chain link fence, just to keep anything from getting in as much as possible. You can't keep everything out, but so it'll have a double layer fence, and that's why I'm using the chain link fence, so it'll be tougher for something to chew through, such as a coyote or something. But I'll probably put an apron down around the chicken coop, maybe like a 2-foot apron around with hardware cloth, and then I'll come up the side of the pen maybe a couple feet, maybe 3-4 feet, and that'll keep stuff from getting in there as much. And I thought about actually curling the wire over and leaving the edges exposed, and that'll keep like a snake from crawling up and trying to crawl into the pen. And that won't keep everything out, but like I said, that'll help a lot. I'll show you what I'm talking about, kind of how I did on my bird boxes right here. So you can see on my bird boxes how I made these guards, and it's got these sharp edges so a snake couldn't crawl up, and once it goes around here, these edges will poke them and they won't be able to get in there. But that's kind of what I'm talking about around the whole perimeter of the pen. If I make a little skirt that sticks out 4 or 5 inches and leave the wire exposed like that, and then around the pole, I could do one around the poles going into the coop, and that'll keep a lot of stuff from getting in there. The only thing I'll really have to worry about then is the actual door where the ladder that goes up in there. And I thought about making where the little steps where the chickens go, putting a little sharp edge on it. Once the chickens hit it a time or two, they'll know to stay off of that and they'll hop over it. So I'd only have to put one little rung like that, and hopefully it'll help. Maybe not, I don't know. But I don't think it will prevent everything 100% anyway. All right, that's a tour around the property. It's been a while. It's probably been a year since I've done one of these. See y'all next time on Early Bird Farms SC, where the SC stands for South Carolina.